This podcast is sponsored by Happy Warrior Kava. Be a happy warrior. Drink, relax, and enjoy the strong and smooth taste of the best-selling kava in the islands. Happy Warrior Kava.
Aloha and welcome to another edition of HNN Overtime, the Hawaii News Now Sports Podcast. I am Kyle Chinen, joined as always by Cienna Pilotin, Davis Pitner. We are back. It's a loaded show, guys.
Yes.
We got a full show. Very exciting, guys. Woo. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing good.
All right.
I mean, you would think that this is kind of the period after the football season is pretty much over here in the islands, getting our way into basketball season and volleyball season, the Christmas area. Feels like it shouldn't be that busy. Boy, oh boy, are we wrong.
It's busy.
A lot of stuff has been happening recently.
A lot of things.
Yeah, we all kind of thought there was going to be, a little bit of a pause after football was over.
Right.
And things kind of slowed down, but just this week, too, there's a lot of big things happening. Even today, I mean, guys, what is going on? Kyle, you were there.
Yeah, I was
what
there.
Happened?
Tell us.
On Thursday, we had a press conference at Governor Josh Green's office over at the state capitol, kind of putting out plans for the new Aloha Stadium project which is something that has kind of, been polarizing for the entire state. We've been wanting and waiting for a new stadium for years now, and it kind of came to a head when the stadium was deemed unsafe and unusable back in 2020. So they put out a new plan for the new Aloha Stadium Entertainment District, or NASED, as it will be kind of known and has been known. And they're now in the process of the request for proposal stage, which means companies can come, submit a proposal for this new stadium. And some of the things that they were discussing today is, I think, a lot of things that Hawaii fans want to know. So one of the things is the proposal has to have a minimum of 25,000 seats. That includes premium suites, boxes, lounges, some of the new things that stadiums in today's game is kind of required to have. You got to have those specialty boxes and places for people to cruise. And, it's not just for football, but, they can hold concerts, soccer, rugby, other types of entertainment things. And it's going to be at a rough cost of $400 million. So if any of y'all got that laying around in your pocket, we can just build ourselves.
Shohei Ohtani can maybe fund
Yeah,
it for
maybe. the HNN Overtime Stadium.
Wow, Kyle.
I mean,
I don't know.
I doubt you would ever.
That's about... our stadium would be about a capacity of 10.
Probably.
It's the three of us.
Capacity
It
of
is the
three.
three of us, yes. But a lot of info that kind of got thrown at us this Thursday morning. So some of the plan, the dates that they're kind of looking at is by next year, they're going to collect all the proposals. They're going to close the proposals again in 2024. And then by 2025, they want to have a deal done with whoever is going to build these stadiums so they can demolish the old one and start work. And they're still confident on the 2028 opening. So they're confident that the Rainbow Warriors will be playing football in 2028. So the first game is August 26, 2028. UH hosts Kansas. So
Kansas. The basketball school.
It's stick to basketball. In the words of Baker Mayfield, stick to basketball. But I mean, those are some of the dates and the timeline that they put out, and they're looking to stick to. But again, a lot of things are unknown and in the air.
What I thought was really interesting too during this press conference was just all the events that they're planning on it when they were discussing this. Obviously, UH football being the prime revenue maker over there, but they also spoke about concerts, professional soccer, rugby, even things that we haven't really seen in a long time.
It's been a minute. I do remember back when I was a kid, we had some professional soccer come to Aloha Stadium and things like that. But yeah, I mean, in the recent history, nothing of that sort.
Getting the NFL Pro Bowl back here, that would be cool. Yep. And obviously hosting high school championship games alongside the Hawaii Bowl.
Right.
What really piqued my interest was the minimum of what is it,
25,000.
Yeah.
Like that.
I was thinking that too.
I mean, it's a stadium that, yes, should hold that amount of people. But to think that, what Hawaii's currently working with, that would be a huge upgrade, obviously, and the facilities would be an upgrade as well. But, I mean, selling out that amount of seats for each game?
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing for them to do, is to be able to fill that amount of seats. Because right now, TC Ching has 15,000. And a lot of those games, they're not quite full, right?
We didn't have a sellout last season, if I'm remembering correctly. But I talked to UH Athletics Director Craig Angelis after that press conference, and he was like, just the way that college sports works, a lot of people are more inclined to just watch the game on their big screen. So he's saying, like, the size of stadiums nowadays don't necessarily have to be, like in Ohio State or Michigan, where it's like,
and there's no reason
there's
for
no
us
reason.
to do the big house when we need our not the big house.
we don't need the big Halle,
But I get what he's saying. Like, there's no reason to have this big stadium that fits, a ginormous amount of people that rush the field at the end of the game, because that's just not what Hawaii is, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But 25,000 is larger than I expected.
Yeah,
and that's the minimum too. It could be even more, right? It could be even more.
If a company can keep it within the range of budget, and their proposal says like a 30,000 seat, they may consider it. Also, things in play is obviously the entertainment district side of things, with like hotels and Governor Josh Green made it apparent that he wants housing, and more so than not for workforce housing, so almost affordable and things like that, not just maybe short-term rentals or things like that. He wants housing in this entertainment district. So a lot of plans, and Daryl Huff did a piece on kind of the nuts and bolts of it, and he said that this has never really been done in this state's government history or really around the country. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I want to give you guys some numbers. I know this is your category. With some
hey,
stats,
Kyle, settle down.
But
settle down. Hey, the stats are my thing.
I
Stay
know.
in your lane, Kyle.
All right,
But
Kyle, hit us.
the 25,000 seat minimum, like we were talking about Ching, it's only 10,000 more than UH's current home at Ching Field, but it is also 4,000 seats more than the current smallest stadium in the Mountain West Conference, which UH plays in. Y'all want to take a guess at what stadium has only 21,000 seats?
I think I know. But Davis, try and
guess.
I don't know. I'm like...
Actually, I don't know if I'm right, but yeah, Davis, go ahead.
Just go ahead.
I want to say my thing, but I want to let you guess.
I don't know. I want to say, is it San Jose State? Is that...
Well,
that was my guess.
Yeah.
San Jose.
Ding, ding, ding. You guys are correct.
That's what I was thinking.
San Jose State.
I thought I heard that.
And weren't they just working on it too?
Yeah, so actually what's funny is they added that new facility, like the football buildings, but they knocked out an entire side of their stand, so it dropped them to about 21,000 and some change, which is currently, besides Hawaii's Ching Field, the smallest capacity stadium in the Mountain West. So, I mean... It's an example.
Considering UNLV plays in Allegiant Stadium.
Right.
That's true.
Know what the competition is.
Right. And I think Wyoming and Colorado State are also up there as far as the highest capacity crowd in the Mountain West. But yeah, it is kind of a hopeful thing, at least for, San Jose is a pretty successful program. We'll see them in the Hawaii Bowl in a couple of weeks. But they only have 21,000 people in the stands if they sell out, and they're still a pretty successful team. So, we'll see.
Yeah, we will have to wait and see. And speaking of football,
there it
Kyle,
is.
yes, going to some teams that have much larger stadiums than us. Hey, I just wanted to get that transition in. The new schedule for 2024 just came out for the UH Rainbow Warriors. I'm going to show the graphic right now. We have a stacked schedule this upcoming year. They're playing Boise State, Nevada, New Mexico, UNLV, all at home. And then our away games next year are against Fresno State, San Diego State, Utah State, and Washington State. And that's going along also with Oregon and UCLA.
Yeah, so our
to see Dylan Gabriel.
Our non-conference schedule is at here against Oregon, here against UCLA, go to Sam Houston, and I think here
Random.
at University against the University of Northern Iowa. So the last two are kind of random as far as locations go, but pretty solid schedule, I'd say.
Pretty
for
solid
next year. I mean, we had a little bit of a clear idea of what this team would look like, but now with the new quarterback coming in, we just don't know what this team is kind of capable of yet. But one team that is a new addition to the conference play, quote unquote, is Washington State, part of that new agreement with the now Pac-2 to add Wazoo and Oregon State into the Mountain West regular season schedule. Again, no matter how good Washington State or Oregon State do, they are not in contention for a Mountain West Conference championship game, and these games against Wazoo and Oregon State do not count towards the other, like, say, Hawaii's Mountain West rankings. So it's just an additional conference game, quote unquote, that doesn't really play into the conference standings. But Wazoo is no slouch. And
no, they are not. They're one heck of a school.
Yeah. And here's the thing. They have to go to Pullman. It's their final game of the season.
It's going to be cold.
They go to Pullman late November. Yeah, no thanks.
It's going to be freezing.
This schedule, I mean, just looking at it, these are teams that, it's a lot of uncertainty with UH right now without a, known starting quarterback right now. Braden was kind of everything, and he kind of put up a fight against these teams. And it's a big question mark on, how they're going to do this year against them. Some of these teams that, they beat, some of them that they lost. I mean, it's going to be really up to the athletes, to UH right now on how they do this upcoming season. I mean, they have the tools. They have Ashlock. They have McBride. They got some weapons. It's just how they're going to use them this upcoming year.
Yeah.
I felt like, if Braden had stayed, it really felt like, okay, Hawaii can get to the Hawaii or a bowl game next year.
A bowl game, yeah.
And I think that's more than likely with Braden. But now that he's entered the portal, who knows where this team's going to be at. I mean, that's the most important position. And to lose your quarterback, and I mean, he was a standout all year long nationally. And so I don't know where the team stands. And to have this as your lineup for next year, I mean, Oregon... look at what we did this year against them. And we had Braden Shager. Who knows who's going to be leading the pack this year?
I mean, and then for football, December 20th next week is the early signing period. So if we can land a certain Nevada quarterback out of high school who's been pretty vocal about saying he's sticking with his verbal commitment, that could add a wrinkle into the quarterback room at least. Because I know right now we really only have two guys, Jake Farrell and John Chiave Sangopulatele. So, I mean, we'll see what this quarterback room is going to look like in 2024.
Yeah, and I know there was a lot of uncertainty when Braden made that announcement. And it's been interesting looking at Twitter, especially looking at Timmy Chang's Twitter. And it kind of seems like he's, trying to get everyone's morale back up. Hey, we lost Braden, but it's not over. Look at all these commits we're getting this year. I swear every single day he's posting something new about another commit. So
we'll see.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to see.
I think, that's kind of what you have to do. He's doing the right thing. You just have to track forward and move on. And, guys are going to enter the portal and you just, okay, next man up. I mean, obviously, he knows Braden's a huge loss. But, yeah, Davis is right. On Twitter, not only him, but just his entire coaching staff has been so vocal about, like, come play for Hawaii. Just come. I know they're hosting recruits right now.
Yeah, it's recruit weekend.
Getting anybody they can that's interested to come out and play.
Yeah. So if you're hanging around Waikiki and you see a big group of football players on a recruit,
make sure to say hi.
Say hi. Tell them
be nice.
They're
No, be nice to them.
Buy them a Malasada.
Yeah.
Buy them.
Buy them something nice.
Buy them
for
something
the road.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, guys.
But speaking of Malasadas, they are a spherical object.
Oh my God.
And we will move to a different spherical object. The UH men's basketball team.
It's actually my favorite spherical object.
If you're just
Malasadas, yes.
I feel like you have to, if you're joining us for the first time, you have to go back to our past episodes.
You gotta know
to understand that reference, especially the ones that have the word sphere in the description.
Yeah.
You'll understand what we're talking about. But Kyle, sorry, continue on.
I was about to say Malasadas, like Cienna said, is the top two
spherical object.
top spherical object
in
the world. Yeah. We should get. I need you to Photoshop a Malasada onto the Vegas sphere. That's your birthday present,
Kyle.
Davis.
I will.
No
Don't
filling,
worry.
though.
Yeah.
Any
Yes.
Malasada?
Yeah, you can't have a filling.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
You have to go
it's
OG.
my pet peeve. Anyone who's like, here, have this coconut filled.
No.
I'm good.
Or like it's chocolate on the inside. No,
Yeah,
then that's not a Malasada.
It has to be the original.
yeah.
It
has to be.
It has to be an original. But speaking of the spherical objects, we'll move from that one to a basketball.
Yes.
UH men's basketball team. They are off to one of their best starts in recent history. They're at 7-1 right now. And they kind of started the season flying. They had multiple games in the single week, back to back to back to back. The last 3 weeks, they've only had like single one-off games on Sundays. So they've had time to kind of slow down a bit and recharge. But this weekend is going to be a big test. They're set to take on Nevada, who was a tournament team last year. And kind of this is their precursor to the Diamond Head Classic, which comes on Christmas weekend. So kind of a big test for this team that has seen success so far, but their only loss of the season to a powerhouse in Utah. So, this will be kind of another true test of what this team is capable of.
Yeah, this is going to be a great matchup. For football, I have the stats, but football's over. But don't worry, guys. I got these stats for basketball now.
Right.
I always got them. We're all prepared. So I'm going to continue to show this B-roll as I talk about these stats. So according to the NCAA net rankings, so for those of you who don't know, net is the NCAA evaluation tool. So they have a list of rankings for all the colleges in Division I. So Nevada, on that ranking, they are ranked 48, while meanwhile Hawaii currently is ranked 120. And in the AP Top 25 rankings, also looking at all the Division I schools, Nevada wasn't in the top 25. However, AP did list them receiving around 5 votes. So they're still up there. They're still ranked pretty highly up there. So they're a very competitive team. It seems like they're, 8-1 for a reason.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I mean, UH coming in at 7-1.
Yeah.
Two really good teams, guys.
Yeah, 2 very good teams. The difference, too, though, is Nevada's in the Mountain West and Hawaii's in the Big West.
Yeah.
So, I was lucky enough a couple years ago to go to the Mountain West tournament and the basketball tournament. And, those guys are like,
monsters.
Yeah, like they're ready to play in the NBA.
Yeah.
Not to say that Big West is not, but the drop-off is kind of significant.
It's a big gap.
So if Nevada's pushing a team that could potentially make a run in March Madness in the tournament, that's huge considering Hawaii. And Hawaii's having a great season.
Yeah.
This is one of the best starts they've had in a really long time.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone expected this considering we lost 2 really good stars and leaders on the court last season in Kamaka Hepa and Samuta Avea. But, it's kind of like they've just filled those holes and we've moved on.
Right.
Yeah. And something, too, they have been on a 3-week pause, right?
Yeah, pretty much,
it's going to be interesting to see, a lot of teams that, are going game to game, they kind of start like a rhythm maybe or still kind of warm. So they're going to have to kind of knock off the rust, I would say.
A little bit. Yeah. They've it's not like a true full 3-week break because they do have these one-offs like on Sundays just where they can fit in scheduling. Let's just be real. Iranganat loves scheduling non-conference games. He'll play an NAU at 9 p.m. after the Maui Invitational just to get a game in. He is a big component of let's get these games in, guys. Come on. And
almost sounded like him.
I can't do a good Iranganat.
No, I think you could
respect.
if you wanted to. But
out of respect, I can't do that.
But Kyle is off topic. Kyle is the best at impressions. I'm just putting it out there. Anybody out there, he can do it. Like down to the walk, down to the mannerisms. Anyway.
I appreciate the hype. I appreciate the hype. That was good. I really appreciate that. But speaking of walking the walk and talking the talk, this team is kind of about on that cusp of being able to do that right now. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because after these 3 weeks of just Sunday games, a whole week, Sunday game, whole week, coming up next week is the Diamond Head Classic, and it's 3 days with 1 day in between on that Saturday of pretty much just nonstop, no real prep time in between. And you know, it's kind of funny. We on Oahu got a little bit spoiled when the Maui Invitational brought all those top basketball teams to Oahu for people to watch. So I guess in like direct comparison, it's not to the level of a Maui Invitational, but it's still a bunch of good teams. So along with Nevada and the Rainbow Warriors, we got Temple, TCU, Old Dominion, Georgia Tech, UMass, and Portland coming to town for the Diamond Head. And UH is the reigning champs from last year. You guys remember that?
Right.
It's that guy right there.
Yeah, that Christmas Eve miracle, Jovan McClanahan.
That's right.
And you know what's crazy? He's already had like 2 of those like half-court crazy buzzer shots this season alone.
Yes.
So
who knows? We could see another one.
A little bit more Noah Magic.
Yep.
That's true. Well,
McClanahan.
She's on it today.
She is on it today. Well, still going on with the players on UH basketball, there is another athlete that we were looking at earlier today, Noel Coleman.
Straight out of Belgium, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Straight out of Belgium. We just want to give him a shout out, though. He just reached the 1,000-point career milestone, and he also was just newly ranked 143 in the country for points per game.
Swish.
He is ranked very highly. Nevada also as a player also ranked pretty highly. He's at 182. Keenan Blackshear. And
what a name.
That's quite the name. Hopefully I pronounced it right.
Noel Coleman is a name
Noel Coleman is also a name, but once again, just going into this UH-Nevada matchup, it just shows how good both of these teams are. They have star players. It should be good.
Noel Coleman, the silent assassin. He doesn't need to say much. He doesn't say much.
He just shows it on the court.
He just shows up and plays.
Yeah.
He'll just, whatever's in his locker room, he'll put on, and then he'll play a game. and then we love that for him. He's a baller. When it's time, he's a baller.
Yeah, for sure. Well, someone who isn't a baller right now, and something that hurts me significantly. For those of you who don't know, I am a major Golden State Warriors basketball fan, and this is something that I think a lot of Warrior fans saw coming. It's not too big of a surprise. Maybe it was a surprise that it didn't happen sooner, but here's the graphic. Yep. So Golden State.
The salt and pepper is crazy.
Warriors player Draymond Green has been suspended indefinitely after being ejected for the 3rd time this year.
Jeez.
So what do you have to say?
Yeah,
about
what's
this?
your thoughts?
So watching the video, and if you haven't seen the video, I would look it up. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it on here. But during a Suns game, Draymond Green decided to hit a guy in the face. Let's be honest, he'll probably say some other story, but I'm being real here. Draymond, he full on hit the guy in the face. He got a flagrant 2 and was ejected from the game. Honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Draymond has always kind of been a thorn in this team, safe to say.
A thorn.
You know, every time everyone has
Whoa.
wow, Cienna.
But he is not the rose here. He is most definitely
the thorn.
Cienna's on it today with all these.
You know me.
Wow, that was good.
He's quick with it.
But yes, I am not surprised. Draymond just he needs anger management, honestly, and needs to stop hitting people. He's a great player. He's a great defensive player. He's, won a lot of awards, but he just can't keep doing this, and right now he's hurting the team rather than improving it.
Yeah, and
hurts me to say.
You talk about the 3 ejections. Another kind of prominent one that happened earlier in the season was against Rudy Gobert. Put him in a chokehold. That one made the rounds on the internet.
I use that like almost every weekend for
the meme potential.
Sort of mean.
Yeah.
But I mean, Davis is
sort of mean.
But this is bad. You cannot do this. And normally, yes, ejections work for people. Normally, suspensions work for people. Draymond's not people. He will get suspended and be like, all right, I'm back. I'm sorry. I apologize. And next thing you know, he's doing it again.
Yeah.
It's like a kid that won't learn their lesson.
Right.
Like, how many times do we have to punish you before it's just like, dude, you're done. Like, you're out of here.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, it's sad because his talent on the court is, like, he's great. He's a great player. He's going to make the Hall of Fame one day. But it's being, like, your highlight reel can't all be you fighting.
Right.
Like, it can't be WWE clips. This is basketball.
Right.
Adam Silver's just not going to allow that. And the Warriors are a really good organization, well run. I'm just surprised that it lasted this long.
Yeah, and I think those are some great points. And you really don't need to be a basketball fan to kind of know that putting someone in a chokehold is kind of against the rules, and
it's kind of sports.
In most
besides
sports,
the UFC.
You really don't need to be a sports fan to like know that it's been going on for such a long time now, and I think people in the comments too, especially on these posts, all these Warriors fans kind of agree that it was gonna happen eventually. It's really what comes next for Draymond.
We'll see. I mean,
we'll see.
In Davis's very nicely printed out stat sheets for us, he wrote that Green he'll be required to meet certain league and team conditions before he returns to play, according to the NBA, which probably
anger management.
Anger management.
Anger management.
I don't know what else this man can do.
And
how do you learn your lesson? Because clearly, most guys, you suspend them and they're like, "I'll never do it again. I'm so sorry."
Right.
Yeah.
It's just one after the other,
and my biggest question, is whether the Warriors pick him back up or say, you know what, we're gonna part ways.
Cut ties.
Honestly, Draymond, he's a multimillionaire. All these guys are millionaires, and he could just retire and become a college basketball coach somewhere.
His podcast is pretty good.
His podcast is pretty
HNN Overtime.
It's no HNN Overtime. But
he will definitely post basketball have great things to do. I mean, he's just a celebrity.
Right.
He is. He's polarizing. People love him or hate him, but he's gonna find things post basketball. Yeah. And also, his talent on the court right now is not outweighing all these issues.
Right.
So it's kind of like if you're a Warriors fan, like Davis is, it's like you got to get rid of this guy.
Yeah. And
honestly,
we've all played team sports. This does not help the team. This does not. It's honestly, it's another distraction for a team that is currently, in the Warriors sense, struggling, 10-13 right now. So, this doesn't help them as a team. And honestly, it's a little bit of selfishness on him for not, having it get to this point where they have to suspend him indefinitely. It's not conducive to a good teammate or to a team that wants to get a title, get another title. So, I totally agree with what all you guys are saying on this issue, but yeah, man, I just can't.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, once again, not the biggest surprise.
Yeah.
And it's just a question mark of what's going to happen next for Draymond Green. That's the biggest question mark going on right now.
Yeah.
But something that's not a question mark.
It's an exclamation point.
Exclamation point. That's exactly what I was going for. Is we're switching gears now to baseball. And sometimes, I don't think you have to be a baseball fan to know this guy based off of that smile.
Shohei-san.
Yep. Yes, that's right. Shohei. Sorry,
I just was speechless. I'm sorry.
We were so speechless.
We were so speechless right there. Shohei Ohtani, he just made a 10-year, $700 million deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers. He was originally with the Angels and put up some amazing numbers the past couple years.
I'm so excited.
He, this deal actually is very interesting, so bear with me for a second.
Yeah, give us
And
the
I guess
deal.
a lot of it was his idea.
Okay.
So $700 million for 10 years, that would have been $70 million a year. He is gonna defer $68 million of that per year. So each year he's gonna get $2 million for the entire contract for 10 years. And then, so that contract ends at 2034. And so from 2034 to 2043, that's when he gets paid the rest of everything.
The rest of the 700
The rest of the 700. So then he starts getting $68 million a year. And that's not to say $2 million. A lot of guys make more than that per year. I think the idea then that I read was that he wanted to give the Dodgers a chance to invest in other players too into the team at the same time. He didn't want to be taking all the money every single year. So goes to show, quite the team player.
Team guy.
Great job for the Dodgers.
And I mean, I'm sure the front office of the Dodgers organization are just smiling ear to ear when they're like, oh, he's
you can see it
deferring.
there. Yeah, look at
only
those
got to pay him
smiles.
$2 million a year. Look at him. He's like, we got Shohei, and basically until 2034, we got a deal on him.
Yeah.
It's
That's
crazy.
These baseball contracts never fail to amaze me. I'm as a Dodgers fan. 10 years. I'll take him for 10 years, but. Like, if you think about it, 10 years is a long
That's a long
time.
And the shelf life on a baseball player, I mean, especially for a guy like Shohei who hits and pitches, you never really know because, you could either have a really long career as a pitcher or if something, God forbid, happens as far as, like, your shoulder or your arm, that career could get cut short very fast. So, I mean, maybe Shohei at some point in this 10 years says, you know what, I'm not a two-way player no more. I'm just going to pitch or I'm just going to DH, So, like.
I'm just, like, so impressed by this deal, though. Like, to think about it, too, he's getting, other endorsements, too. He's making money from other places, too, for these 10 years. And say, those 10 years he retires. And those endorsements go away, hey, he's getting a big bump in his pay raise for the following 10. So it makes up for that amount. So I think this deal it's probably one of the smartest, most logical things I've seen. And I just wonder if more players are going to be doing that too after seeing this.
I don't know if many other players are worth what Shohei's worth, but you know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, no, this guy, like, from the minute people thought they had a chance, you had teams, every team out there was basically like, how do we get Shohei Ohtani?
How do we get him?
I mean, it was like basically the equivalent of like a NBA offseason where you're just like left and right. You're like, we need to get Dame Dollar. Like, how do we get this guy? And like triple the amount of that. And so this guy is one of the greats. We'll never see another like him for a while.
If ever.
I can't say forever, but for at least a really long time. And I'm just so happy he's with the Dodgers. Not only because I'm a fan, but just like he's at a well-run organization. I never thought the Angels treated him the way they should have.
They really fumbled the bag.
They fumbled beyond. And I mean, obviously Trout is there too, and that was his guy. But Trout needs to go too. I mean, not even to the Dodgers, just anywhere. Like the Angels are just not a good organization. And in baseball, like it's basically whoever has the most money, and obviously the Dodgers did. They're going to be giving him $700 million, so it's just amount of like, you have money, spend it. Go out and get these guys.
Spending spree.
Yeah, you really should. They definitely won in this situation. I mean, it was a big investment, but I think they're going to get a big return.
Yes.
It's just crazy to think that the Angels had both Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout and did absolutely nothing with that.
Yeah.
Oh man, they fumbled, but. Hey, another LA team will reap the benefits of hopefully Shohei Ohtani. And you know what too? If you watch like Angels games, like all the ad like boards and stuff, they're all Japanese brands because Shohei brought them over. Like now with the Dodgers, like those brands will come to the Dodgers, and so Dodger Stadium will have like all these different like other brands and other sources of revenue that probably didn't happen without Shohei Ohtani. So that's another aspect too that Shohei brings along with him. It's some, like, you know, how some athletes come with baggage. This is the baggage you guys want to have coming to your team.
The complete opposite of Draymond Green here. He is the franchise.
Yeah.
He's the guy you want to build around and the guy that fans love. And even people in our newsroom, like, they just learned about Shohei Ohtani and they think that he's like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, like, where were you?
Where you been?
Where you been?
Like, he's always been this great guy. And I remember, like, when his first game with the Angels and, like, just going way back then. And, like, he's come a long way. And he's just awesome. He's been through injuries and all that. And he's still just a great all-time player.
All right, guys, it's time for our under review section, the fun part of this episode. And it is December, and we've been doing a theme this month of Christmas-related things. I have a game for y'all, and I know we did this a little bit a couple episodes ago, some superlatives, but it's going to be Christmas-themed. Okay. I know we are breaking Kyle these Chinen out again.
Arts and crafts with
the
Kyle
arts
Chinen.
and crafts segment of our show. Real quick before we get this going, I'm just going to get a little bit more into the holiday season, get a bit more festive.
Oh, okay.
Wait, didn't expect this.
Y'all didn't see this?
I didn't see this
happening.
In the side of the
You could have just
studio.
put it on.
I wanted to be dramatic.
You could have put it on during the break.
It's okay.
Yeah, we literally had
a little break.
We had a break right before.
I wanted to surprise y'all. I should have moved the chair.
It was in the corner.
I should have moved the chair.
Y'all, you guys can't see it. It was in the corner back over here.
I should have moved it a little bit closer to us. But, okay, are y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay, first one. Most likely to eat all of the Christmas cookies.
Oh, man.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Actually, yeah, I was gonna put
it's
both
it's a toss-up.
You're talking to two offensive linemen.
Fair.
It's like
that's fair.
You put cookies in front of us. I mean, it's. So
I
would say both of us, honestly.
The only reason I said Kyle, because it's really a toss-up between Davis as well.
Yeah.
The only reason I said Kyle is literally like a few days ago, just like a couple of days ago. Miss Allison Blair,
the one and only,
one and only, brought in cookies for everybody in the station for our Christmas gift, left them on everybody's desks. Within like 2 minutes, no joke, she was not even done passing it out to everybody. Kyle walks over and was like, those were so good.
That's exactly what I did.
I turned around and went, you ate them already? He's like, yeah, what do you expect? You give me cookies?
You give me cookies.
I was like, literally, she's still standing up, and Kyle had wiped it out.
To be fair, this is normal. I will absolutely demolish cookies that are put in front of me.
The way you like walked over.
Oh, I
it's like, wait.
I happily waddled over being like, Allie, those are delicious. But to be fair, that was after marathon coverage, and I was low-key starving. And they were very good.
Burn a lot of calories.
Yes,
yeah, you burn a lot of calories during the marathon.
Shout out to Allie for that one. But I will say, those are like just chocolate chip cookies. You know those Pillsbury ones with like the little
the
sugar ones that have like they either have it for
sugary.
Halloween or Christmas, like the little printed thing.
I used to love those.
I love those. Are still my top 10 cookies of all time.
Those are pretty good.
Top 10 cookies.
I got top 10.
That's gonna have to be another bit.
That we'll get to that in a little bit.
The top 10.
I got a top 10.
3.
I mean.
Anyway.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Next one, guys.
All right.
Most likely to forget to buy a Christmas gift. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I voted for myself, but I'm not surprised and not shocked. I am, for lack of a better word, very forgetful. Yes. Sometimes I can't even remember where I parked in the building. Yes. If I ate lunch, how I got to work in the morning, like the constant hits to the head did not help Davis.
No, it did not. I have those moments too, Kyle. You're not alone. We're here together.
I don't know if you have those moments.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll ask Mel, but I swear Davis is one of those people that just have everything together.
That's true.
Not a lot of the time. I try my best though.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We try.
All right, guys.
That was funny though.
Thank you, guys.
Wow, overall votes for Kyle so far in the first two.
That was the
Kyle
first.
takes the cake and the cookies.
And the cookies,
And
yeah.
the cookies.
All right, guys. Who's on Santa's nice list? Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh, I thought you were gonna vote for yourself.
Davis,
why is Cienna on the nice list?
I guess I should be on the nice
the
list
last
too.
person
Well,
here.
it's like it's weird because I don't want to vote for myself.
No,
it's
this
like,
guy.
Vote for you. Davis is one of the nicest people.
I
you'll
just
meet.
vote for
The
myself.
nicest
You know
people on
what?
the planet.
Honestly, I think we're all on the nice list this year, guys.
Santa would say
Otherwise,
no.
yeah.
He'd say no.
Davis
No.
for sure.
Well, thank you
Yeah,
guys.
Davis
I
and
appreciate
his wife,
that.
Mel.
Davis and
Two
Mel.
of the
She's
nicest people.
she's
Yes.
the real
The nicest people you'll
she's
meet.
the
The
real
sweetest
nice
of all
list
time.
Yes.
one right there. But thank
All right.
you guys. Appreciate
Yeah.
that. Your gifts are
Davis
gonna
is
be
like,
awesome.
I will vote for myself. The next option is Cienna.
The next one is Cienna.
Because he's like, it ain't Kyle.
Well, Kyle
It's
keeps taking all the
definitely not
cookies.
Cienna.
You know, I'm not taking them. They're being put in front of me as a gift.
Yeah.
So also too, our assignment editor, Brenda, she gave us
I was
cookies
just gonna
this
mention
morning.
dude.
Those are gone.
Those were gone too.
Those are
Yeah,
gone.
she set them down. I opened them right away. I
Oh
was
yeah, and
like,
this was at 9 in the morning, and I'm like, breakfast.
I knew it.
It's the perfect breakfast. Come on. All
That
right,
was
guys.
funny.
Next one. Who is most likely to break a Christmas ornament? Ready? 3, 2, 1.
really
Dang.
me, Kyle.
No, it's.
I have
I
broken a Christmas ornament though. One or two or couple.
Or couple? Yeah.
Couple. Well, it's hard for like us bigger guys, and I always find it
Exactly.
when it's the ornament in the
We're
back,
so big.
and say like
so
you want to like grab the ornament from the back,
Yep.
but then when you're reaching, like
You hit
the
another
other
one.
ones fall down,
Right.
and then it's like, oh shucks, that's broken. Like,
Is that your
Let's-
explanation to Mel?
Yeah.
Oh shucks.
Oh,
well,
shucks.
not to Mel yet. It's our first Christmas, so I've been good. But usually the discussions
She's
were
not
with
letting you
mom.
touch it.
with mom growing up, that happened, and you never wanted to make mom upset. So
Never.
yeah,
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Who's most likely to be a Grinch this holiday season? Ready?
actually, yeah, this is
In 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I'd be stealing Christmas, y'all.
Stealing Christmas, but at the
Stealing
end,
Christmas.
her heart grows 3 sizes because she learns
In
to
the
love
end,
Christmas.
Shohei
What does
Ohtani
it mean?
teaches me the gift.
The gift of giving.
Yeah, I don't think we need an explanation for
Yeah,
that
it-
besides just
Watch the previous episode when we
Watch-
did
yeah,
this.
watch a couple
That'll answer a
episodes.
lot of questions.
You'll understand. Okay, guys. Last one here. We have who's most likely to eat it trying to ice skate. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
yeah, I'm like I can't decide.
I like how you and I put each other.
Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
From past experience, I've eaten it.
Yeah,
So you're
me
both,
too.
You're both not good at ice skating.
No,
No, we're
no.
so bad.
We are very bad. I can barely stand up.
So definitely
Without
not one
falling
of your
over.
like first date activities.
No, if
Definitely not.
if a girl's like, "Hey, let's go ice skating. It'll be a fun holiday thing." I'm like, "How about we don't?" Otherwise,
Really? So she asked like, "Hey Kyle, let's go to Ice Palace."
You'd say no.
I'd be.
I think you would go.
I'd go, but I'm in that corner, with all the kids and the little
The walkers.
the walkers.
The walkers.
Oh, 100%. I have no shame in doing that because, one, I'm gonna break an ankle because of those skates.
Yeah.
Not the most
Like
graceful
energy.
person.
Whenever I'm on, I'm always gripping the side,
Oh, that
by
too.
the window.
Davis is
yeah.
that guy that-
Hey, yeah, I'm
Oh,
like that guy.
100%.
So, like you feel safe next to the wall, and then you have to get to that point where you have to cross, and then
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like,
Yep.
Yep.
oh man, I better,
Oh, no.
I either
Oh,
make
no.
this
Someone's
or
standing
Yeah.
there, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Sir, you're gonna have to move."
You're gonna move, or we're gonna be moving together.
we're going together.
It's always that one person too at like Ice Palace or the skating rink that thinks they're in the Olympics and it just
I
zooming.
hate those people.
backwards,
They're
cross-
doing
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the flips. They're carrying each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
Like, Like, okay, Alex Shibutani.
So,
like,
there's a reason you're at
easy.
Ice Palace,
Yeah.
right?
Right,
There's,
we're literally
you're not.
there's no reason for this.
There's no reason. Like, this isn't the Winter Olympics. You can relax. But I mean, to be fair, if I did go out to Ice Palace like on a date, I'm sitting in the bleachers with a hot cocoa.
No,
like,
you
got
can't be
this.
that guy.
You got this.
She's just skating by herself.
That's true. I
Yeah.
will, for the right person. If you're listening, I'll try. I'll put in effort. That's the most important part, right?
You're selling this. Yeah.
I'm selling myself really, really well, I think. That's why I'm spending Christmas alone.
Oh no!
Hey, it's not the 25th yet. You still have
that.
time. You could find that certain someone.
Yeah,
Kyle.
you could.
Yeah.
Like all those Christmas movies where they meet each other like on the first day and then
On the first day
Yeah.
of Christmas, and then
Christmas.
and
Yeah,
then
you never know. She
it could be a
anywhere.
Hallmark movie.
oh,
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
could be the small town boy.
The small town boy
She's
and the
gonna
big
come-
city girl.
She's gonna come take over HNN, and Kyle's like, no, I must save HNN. And I'm like the sidekick friend,
Do it. She likes you. Talk to them.
which is literally
Yeah.
how our
It's literally our
works, yeah.
friendship. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally like come on, Kyle. Like, man up. Talk to someone. be an approachable person. And I'm like, I'm trying. I'm really trying.
I'm just picturing a Hallmark movie right now,
Oh
and
my
like you
goodness.
then like heading to H&L, and then she's like about to get on a plane.
And I'm running through the terminal.
She's about to get on Hawaiian,
Hawaiian/Alaska. and
run
doing
through
the
TSA.
joint press conference. And guys,
Don't get on that
running.
plane.
Kyle
Don't
is
get on that
running
plane.
through.
And I'm like dripping with sweat because half of the airport's not
It's
air
so
conditioned.
hot outside. It's so hot. He got
That
his
new
Crocs.
version though is pretty
His
good.
Crocs
It's
are
in
in
sports mode.
Meanwhile, Shadi's there with her
Fur
knockoff
coat.
Louis Vuitton.
Yep. Yep.
I wasn't going anyway. Like those are how those movies work.
Like, or like, you know when like he runs to the window because the gate's already closed and he sees the plane taking off,
Yes.
and he's like,
You're
no.
holding the glass.
And then all of a sudden they pan over and she's behind.
Yeah,
it.
she's like behind.
I never took the flight
I didn't
anyway.
leave. I'm not gonna take over HNN. Like, just like
And
like that.
we're
That
like
would,
writing an entire script right now for a
if you
Hallmark
guys are
movie.
listening, take our advice for
Take
free.
our advice.
Don't take over HNN, girl. It won't end well for you.
You have to deal with us every week.
I know.
Oh my goodness, we've had our fun, right, guys?
Yes,
this
that was
a great
good.
episode.
That was really fun, and you know, we'll be back as always next week with the Christmas episode.
Ooh, got some fun things planned for that.
That'll be
Exciting.
fun.
Ooh, should be exciting.
Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to this edition of HNN Overtime. To listen to our previous episodes, you can head to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get the rest of our HNN podcast. And be sure to check out the YouTube version, the full YouTube version on the HNN YouTube channel. For Cienna, Pilotin, David Pitner, I'm Kyle Chinen. Thanks for watching. Aloha.
This podcast is sponsored by Happy Warrior Kava. Be a happy warrior. Drink, relax, and enjoy the strong and smooth taste of the best-selling kava in the islands. Happy Warrior Kava.